Okay, I'm going live. I was supposed to do a stream with a builder today, this evening, and it didn't happen. But that's okay. It gave me a free evening, and I was all set up on my balcony here, so I figured I'd do a little art share. Uh, so I'm gonna call this Ouroboros Quiet Before the Storm. Um, Let me just read. What is an Ouroboros? I just asked, what is an Ouroboros? And I think it was Grok says, an Ouroboros is an ancient symbol depicting a serpent or a dragon eating its own tail, forming a circle. It represents cyclicality, eternal return, or self-reflexivity. Interesting, self-reflexivity, often associated with concepts like infinity, rebirth, and the unity of opposites. Mm, the unity of opposites. Right on. Sort of like yin yang, right? Okay. Commonly found in Egyptian, Greek, and ooh, it disappeared. What's an Ouroboros? Ouroboros. Hold on. I'm sorry for. Okay. Commonly found in alchemy, mythology, and philosophy. It symbolizes the idea that beginnings and endings are interconnected, such as in the eternal renewal of the universe or self. Hmm. And it represents self-reflexivity or eternal return, often associated with concepts like infinity, unity, and the cycles of life, death, and rebirth. Wow. All right. I knew there was a reason why I was attracted to Ouroboros. Um, right on. Bullishly just reposted this stream. Yeah, so first of all, I'm just so thankful. Um, I'm in a I'm in a different setting, and um, it's an urban setting, and I was born on this island, right? And so it always feels like home. I wasn't born in this apartment, um, but I've had this balcony in this little place here for a few years. So, okay, so Ouroboros, quiet before the storm. So there's something magical for me, at least, about the whole experience that I've had about with Ouroboros and with the Ouroboros developer Shadowy, Super Shadowy. It's been a really compelling learning experience for me about a ton of stuff, a ton. And I've been in the fortunate position to be in a dialogue with the builder, with the inventor of Ouroboros, right? And yeah, I've really come to appreciate him and value him as a unique and compelling inventor entrepreneur. And so right now, the Ouroboros protocol, it's been incubated in the Titanx ecosystem, and it's a lending protocol, and it's a fork and an innovation on Liquidity, LUSD. And what Super Shadowy has done is he's forked Liquidity and then invented a unique use case for the technology, which is basically to provide a service. It's a multi-collateral stabilizing asset as service platform. I'm not going to call it a stable coin. It's, the easy way to talk about USDX is that it's a stable coin. But I prefer talking about it as a stabilizing asset. It oscillates above and below $1 worth of the collateral asset that backs it. And so on Ouroboros, we incubated Ouroboros in the Titanx ecosystem. And so the first two collateral assets are Titanx and DragonX, right? And so in the incubation with Titanx community, Ouroboros has really found a product market fit and is preparing to expand. And so that's the quiet before the storm. So a few things about what's coming in terms of the storm. I mean, I love this protocol. I love the culture of the community that has formed around Super Shadowy. It's good natured. It's smart. People agree to disagree. I think what we're doing is we're building the foundation for a decentralized platform, a DeFi platform that can really scale. And so I'm really excited both about the upside business potential, but also I like being part of projects. I like participating. I like to be able to look under the hood and to ask questions of who's ever in charge of the enterprise that I'm investing in. And so with Ouroboros, I'm an investor, and now I feel like I'm an owner. I don't hold any. I hold a little bit of liquid ORX, but most of my ORX, which is a fee-sharing token, is vesting. Right. So I put my Titanx in about 9 months ago, and it's a full vest is 365 days. So yeah, so the quiet before the storm. It's first of all, we know that there's a fiat-backed stablecoin super cycle, meaning that there is the Genius Act and there is a regulatory regime now, at least in the US, that defines what stablecoins can and can't do. And they're really talking about fiat connected and backed stablecoins, and also the stable assets that interact with the payment rails, with the off-chain payment rails. And so what I'm talking about when I talk about Ouroboros is a whole different animal. It's the mythical creature Ouroboros, right? It's the infinity. It's the mythical snake dragon, right? And it's very artistic. And okay, so the quiet before the storm. What's coming? I can't give details because I don't know details, but I'm going to paint a picture. The first thing is Shadowy has been in the process of redoing the user experience. The brand is going to get a facelift, right? And so the Ouroboros design ethos will just keep on evolving. And we've seen in the Telegram group, we've seen some screenshots of it, and it looks beautiful. It reminds me of old school Chase Manhattan Bank, but with a cosmic twist. So that's the first thing. It's an upgrade in the design ethos. That's the first thing. The second thing is a staking platform. It's what we've been calling the universal staking module. And it's a staking platform. I can't go into detail because I don't know detail, but there will be single-sided staking, I believe, for ORX and maybe other assets. We'll see. But at least for ORX, it's going to be a fee-sharing platform that's going to be amazing, I believe, for ORX stakers, and it's going to give, I believe, good utility. We'll see what's going to happen, but the staking platform is going to be what's going to launch next. I don't know when, but soon. And so that's a stepping stone. It's a It's a yield platform that will enable um, more utility for ORX holders and stakers and lockers, and probably opportunities for other assets and communities to use this staking platform in a modular format. I don't really know exactly how it's going to work, but I do know that it's launching soon, and I'm going to be using it, I'm sure. And it's a stepping stone to what's next, which are new collateral asset deployments. I don't know if they're going to be on within the Titanx ecosystem, within the greater Ethereum ecosystem, or if we're going to deploy next with collateral assets on another blockchain like Sonic. I really don't know, but I do know that it's coming. I do know that we will be expanding beyond the Titanx and DragonX assets, and we'll be onboarding probably larger assets and communities, right? And so that's, for me, that's very exciting. I don't know exactly what it looks like, but I've been following for a long time and asking a lot of questions and participating. And I think what we're getting towards next is a test net, probably where we'll be able to work with the staking platform. I don't know when that is, but the test net, I believe, is coming, and I think it will be either a private test net for a user group or a larger public test net. I don't really know. Likely a private test net, but I don't really know. But we will find out soon. So yeah, so the brand gets a facelift. We get a staking platform, which is a yield platform, and new assets and potentially blockchain deployments. And so that's like the tech roadmap over the next weeks and months. And then there's also the quiet before the storm of the whole gamified thing that's going on now in terms of token distribution. So how it worked was early on. So at the launch of Ouroboros, it was a fair launch, and either you could get into Ouroboros with, I think, what was called the ORX drip with Ethereum. I didn't do that. I didn't. I had Titanx to put into it, so I didn't do Ethereum. I mean, I could have put Ethereum, but I thought that this was a good use of my Titanx because I really wanted to leverage my Titanx into Ouroboros. And it's been an incredibly successful thing for me so far in terms of the outperformance that ORX has done versus Titanx. And I think I believe it will continue over time for a variety of reasons. Just because of the unique characteristics of the ORX token, the fact that it's a fee sharing token, it's cap supply, it's going to be hyper deflationary. There's a lot of use cases for it, and I just think the use cases and the fee sharing potential is through the roof. So yeah, and so the gamified nature of the fair launch is still ongoing, because there are people like me who are still vesting our ORX tokens. And part of the gamified nature that Super Shadowy set up, which I think is really elegant. I've never seen a launch so elegant and accessible to people. I think a lot of people didn't understand it or didn't trust it. And so didn't go in. And so, but even now, so I think the best opportunity for me was to get in early with Titanx and just let it vest for 365 days, which is what I'm doing. But I've also built a ladder, and I will be early claiming some later in the cycle, probably just to take profits. because I think what's going to happen is first of all, there's going to be an Ethereum and then an altcoin bull run, right? And so that's what ORX is leverage on Titanx, which is leverage on Ethereum. And so ORX will do very well just when Ethereum and Titanx start running. But I also think that ORX is going to have its own mini game. It could be a very volatile ride because I think what we're going to see is awareness about the ORX token, and all of a sudden there's going to be a demand for buying the ORX token because I think there's going to be an attractive staking opportunity and locking opportunity, and so I think that Ouroboros is about to blow out beyond the Titanx ecosystem. It's an asset and a platform that really can have broad appeal. And the amazing thing about Ouroboros is that it's a very lean team, right? I mean, an incredibly lean team. We've got, a team of one, and then, very strong supporters, right? And then contractors that Super Shadowy has to do audits and to do whatever else he needs to be done. But this is a one-person operation, and he's doing the work and the development that typically takes, I mean, whole teams and whole foundations. And so this is the work of one man with the support of a small crew of people, and we are cheering him on and trying to keep him healthy and wealthy and wise and good natured, which he is. And what we're going towards is exponential growth. And I don't really think about the price of Ouroboros, so I think it's probably about 3 cents or something. I think about it partially in terms of the ratios, but also I think about it in terms of value. And so there's a quiet before the storm. Like right now, the market cap of Ouroboros is like $1.6 million or something based on the circulating supply, something like that. I mean, that's hugely undervalued given the total value locked in the platform, the setup that we have to scale the platform and grow the platform, the deals that Super Shadowy seems to have in the pipeline. I mean, it's just so undervalued. And I think what we're going to see is Shadowy coming out with education and new staking platform, and eventually new collateral assets that we onboard and new strategic alliances. And so I think what's going to happen is it's going to be a very attractive token. As this bull run happens, I think it's going to be a very attractive token. It's going to be very scarce and very attractive, and there's going to be staking yield to be made. And people are going to want the ORX token once they realize that it's a fee-sharing token attached to this stabilizing asset platform, right? Creating stable coins, stable assets using small and mid-cap collaterals. It's a huge market, a huge niche within the niche of the lending platforms, right? In crypto. It's a huge niche that no one really, and this is like what Shadowy has us doing, we're going to be first movers, and the DAO is going to be a DAO helping to chart the course, as first movers in this stablecoin as service for small and mid caps, all on chain. We're going to have nothing to do with fiat, right? We're not going to be regulated. We're not going to be targeted by the regulators because we're crypto collateral backed, right? If we need to audit things, it can be done on chain, and it's me interacting with the smart contract. That's it. There is no middleman. Okay, there are some management controls which we want, but in the actual interaction with the protocol, it's me and the protocol with the smart contract. And so, particularly with, actually, it's interesting. I think that Richard's Hart legal win has really helped in this area, but I also think that. Yeah, I won't even go into the Genius Act. That what the Genius Act has done for protocols like Ouroboros and even protocols like PDI, anything that's not going to have fiat backing is good, right? Um, is and also assets that aren't going to have direct interaction with the payment rails is good, right? And so, yeah, all right. It's getting dark out here. I don't know if we can see. Um, so yeah, I think we're going to see explosive price action, not just in ORX, but in a lot of the altcoin market. But I do believe that ORX is going to outperform um, most other altcoins over time, especially in the fundamentals. Like the price performance is going to be all about more buyers than sellers, which is why the culture of Ouroboros that we're intending to build is a holder culture, a culture of big holders who believe in the ecosystem, who believe in the platform, and are incentivized to hold and stake and lock our ORX tokens. And so that was the intent of this long drawn out fair launch, I think, was to let the cream of the crop of people who understand the value proposition that Super Shadowy is building and let us self-select in terms of who we are that wants to hold ORX token and who sees the gem in our hands, if we can stay grounded and not become a pump and dump coin, but what we become is a coin that people need, that people that I love to hold and stake and lock, and that maybe I even need it, right? Because maybe I'll need ORX for when someone like, I don't know, someone like Warrior Soul and Builder Lee, who may want at some day to build on ORX. I don't know. Maybe not them, but whoever, right? Maybe I'll need the ORX, but the beauty of what we're building in ORX is there is a potential for an early investor holder group that has a feeling of ownership because it's fee sharing, there's participation in the DAO, right? And I also think there's still an opportunity now, like even 9 months after launch, right? It's an opportunity to get ORX at the local lows. I mean, it's like we are so close to the bottom. It's not the bottom, we're off the bottom, but we're still very close to the bottom. It's like I don't know, a 2 cent bottom or something. Maybe it went a little bit lower, maybe down to 1 cent. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to price with ORX. Seriously, I'm really thinking about total value locked, and then also the fees that come through the lending protocol, the fees for loans. And then I'm also interested in how we're going to get to the yield in the staking platform, right? How does that happen? Where do the rewards come from? Where does the ROI come from? Where does the APR, the APY come from? Where is the what's happening, right? And so I'm really looking forward to looking under the hood at the staking platform and really curious where we're going to be launching. So yeah, more on this later. I'm going out this evening. I have an evening. I have a few nights free from parenting, which is amazing. So I'm free and I'm going to go do my thing. So peace out and be well all. And ORX is Ouroboros is what a gift.